Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're not already following me, follow me right now. Hit the follow button, like, share, subscribe, blah blah blah. So, as you can see by the title, today I'm here to discuss pain. And I'm just going to get straight into it. The other day I had a conversation with this boy. We were talking on the phone, just a regular conversation, and we were talking about Instagram. He had posted something on his story or his Instagram notes or whatever, and it was like pain is not real, but love is. I mean, no, he said love is not real. Pain is real, love is not. Something like that. Y'all get the gist. He's saying that love is fake, and when he's saying love is not real and pain is. And, we got into a conversation. I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, if anything, pain is not real and love is. And he just like, no, when you're feeling pain, you feel no love. Like, and for him, what came up specifically was like physical pain. And obviously for me, not just because I'm a woman, but I can be an emotional one. Um, I was referring more to emotional pain, but regardless, the topic was that when you feel these things, when you feel pain, the love does not exist. And I was arguing him on it. And today I started a new apprenticeship. Um, Today I started a new apprenticeship for this wellness program, and basically I was in pain because in the wellness program it's called a foot and scalp ritual that I'm learning how to do or whatever the case may be. And you have to sit up very straight with your back straight. You can't lean over. You have to sit crisscross applesauce. And if you know people that haven't been doing hip openings, or you haven't been working on your posture, that shit feels uncomfortable to do for an extended period of time. Even for a good 5 minutes, I started to feel uncomfortable. And obviously, she states that, you want to feel comfortable when you're giving this service out because it's an energy exchange. And, throughout the process of this was my first day, it was just hard for me to sit up straight. It was hard for me to sit up straight without being in pain, without being uncomfortable. And basically, obviously, I'm a deep thinker. I think I go past the surface with everything. Sometimes it's a gift, sometimes it's a curse, right? But in this case, on my ride home, I'm just like, it brought back up the conversation with the boy of where pain is not real. I mean, pain is real, love is not. And when you're feeling pain, love doesn't exist. And I think the thing that I'm seeing is that you feel pain because love is not existing. Where you feel pain is where love does not exist. And when you're uncomfortable and feeling pain, it's showing you where you need love. And obviously, I dug deeper into that in terms of me needing to not only work on my posture and sit up straighter, but be more open to being seen. Because if I'm slouching down all the time and I'm, that to me, because like I said, I don't just look at the surface level of things. Oh my God, a bird shitted on the car. Didn't even realize that. But to me, it shows me that I've been dimming my light. And also just not taking care of my back. If we're talking about the physical, it's also blocking my digestion. If you're not sitting up straight, how can your food digest properly? And then that's creating more weight in the body. Your core is not like, so many things came up from me being in pain. Me being in pain and me being uncomfortable just showed me where I need love. And that's the point of pain. That's pretty much all I really wanted to get up here. That was the point I really wanted to get to. The point of pain is to show you where you need love. So maybe he was right in a way. I mean, not necessarily that pain is real and love is fake or love is not, but where pain is, love does not exist. But pain is because love does not exist. And I'm not going to say I hope that makes sense because I know that makes a lot of fucking sense. So when you look at your life, and even example, he was talking about physical pain, and he was like, oh yeah, I got in a car accident, it was real bad, blah, blah, blah. And I just thought to myself, because some people could think, oh, this just applies to emotional. No. I mean, why'd you get in a car accident? Was you driving the car with love? Were you caring about yourself when you were driving the car? Who were you in the car with? You think about all those types of things. And also, even after, but outside of all that, it was somebody else's fault. And you have pain in somewhere in your body, that's where you need to be loved at. That's where you need to be cared for at. When you go to the hospital, they're not going to work on your heart when your fucking foot hurt. You know what I mean? So yeah, today's pain showed me a lot. It showed me that I need to work on my breathing, my posture, being okay with being seen more. And most importantly, it showed me that where there is pain, there needs to be love. Where you're feeling uncomfortable is where you need to apply pressure. When you're bleeding out physically, they say put pressure on the wound. And in this case, that pressure will be love. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had to say. And I mean, you can get into my hair. My hair eats down, you know. I'm turning into the best version of myself. I can feel it. I can feel her. She's here. She has arrived. She has arrived. She just got off the plane, y'all. Like, she did say it's a little ghetto here, but she coming here to put in some fucking work. And that's what I was saying during the class too. I was just like, the girl that I was giving a massage to, because I was the therapist, she was the client. She kept asking, she was like, are you okay? Like, are you uncomfortable? Which I was. And I had to tell her, like, I'm okay. That doesn't mean I'm not uncomfortable. It means I'm okay that I'm uncomfortable right now because I know who I am. One, you don't, so I get it. And I know that, I'm going to alchemize my pain always. That's just who I am. That's what alchemy is, And yes, I'm in pain. I was in pain like shit, y'all. I was so uncomfortable. But it just, like I said, it motivated me. And that's what being uncomfortable does, or it should do. If it's not doing that, you're too deep into victim mentality, which, something else you need to sit and think about. But yeah. And I'm not saying I'm not human. And in the moment, I'm like, damn, I want to get the fuck out of this fucking position. But afterwards, when I thought about it, I'm just like, for one, I'm open, a little bit more open, got my hips more open, and I'm starting, and yeah, and this takes me to a conversation about psychosis as well, because that was physical pain, right? And even that physical pain showed me where I need to be loved more mentally, and just in my personal life in general. And a lot of people have this idea that you have to go into some form of psychosis or whatever in order to expand. And I can see how some people think think that, you know. We don't all need the same pain because we don't all need to be loved in the same places, right? So some people may actually have to, get their psyche stretched in order to elevate it. You know what I mean? But I don't think that's the case for everybody. I don't think that's the case for everybody. Like I said, we're not all hurt in the same ways. The doctor wouldn't work on, your heart when your foot is hurting. You know, so it just depends on you as a person. But I do know after I had my panic attack episodes and anxiety episodes, and even doing certain plant medicines and being on the verge of just losing my whole identity, I always come to the verge. You know what I mean? Because I'm the type, I like a little danger, and then it's like when I touch it a little bit, touch the stove. I'm going to touch the stove, but I'm going to learn my lesson. I don't have to hold my hand down there to, you get what I'm saying, learn my lesson. But I'm getting too much into myself. Point is that pain does allow you to grow. Being uncomfortable does help you to grow. Being uncomfortable shows you where you need more love. And, even I'm down thinking about when people say things like, oh, like, I don't like touchy, lovey-dovey stuff. It make me uncomfortable. It make me cringe. Maybe that's something you need. Maybe that's something you need. And don't get me wrong. Like, let's not say that. Don't just put yourself in uncomfortable situations or painful situations for no reason. Like, that's not what I'm saying. And I want to make that clear that that's not what I'm saying. And I also want to make it clear that I am not advocating for, self-harm or, just being dumb. Like putting yourself in painful situations. That's not what I'm advocating for. But life does have a flow to it. And if you at the moment your flow is uncomfortable, it's information for you. Use that information. Somebody's coming with a lawnmower, and that's my cue. I love y'all so much. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Follow me on all platforms. What's my I don't even know what my TikTok is. I'm gonna drop all that information in the comments. I love y'all. Have a great rest of your day.